All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep. We're going to decode the secret language that powers literally all of our modern tech.
So, let's kick things off with a big question. Kind of a mystery, really. How can a machine that basically only understands two things, on and off, or zeros and ones, create these incredibly rich, complex digital worlds we live in? I mean, from your text messages to blockbuster movies, how does that even work?
Well, to crack this mystery, you might think we need some fancy lab, right? Nope. The answer doesn't even need a plug. Our guide for this journey is this amazing book, Computer Science Unplugged. And it shows us that the biggest ideas in computing are actually super simple, totally hands-on. Okay, you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, Section 1, Counting with Cards. This is our first big clue in uncovering the computer's secret language. And you know, it all starts with something you'd probably never expect, a simple little card game. Believe it or not, this is going to show us the elegant and honestly the really simple way that computers learn to count.
So, picture this. You've got 5 cards in front of you. And take a look. There's a really cool pattern here, right? Each card has exactly double the dots of the card before it. So you get 1, then 2, then 4, 8, and 16. This doubling pattern, seriously, this is the key to everything. Remember that. Okay, so let's try to make a number. How about the number 9? Well, you just flip up the 8-dot card and the 1-dot card. See? 8 plus 1 equals 9. Simple. But here's the really mind-blowing part. For any number you can think of up to 31, there is only one unique combination of cards you can flip. Every single number gets its own secret code. No two are the same.
And this is where we go from a simple card game to the actual language of computers. It's so simple. If a card is face down, we're going to call that a 0. If it's faced up, that's a 1. And just like that, poof, we've created a code. A simple but incredibly powerful one.
Okay, let's go back to our number 9 and write it in this new code. The 16-dot card, we left it face down, so that's a 0. The 8-dot card, we flipped that up, so that's a 1. The 4 and the 2, we didn't touch them, so that's 2 more zeros. And finally, the 1-dot card, we used it, so that's a 1. Put it all together, and what do you get? 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. That right there, that's the number 9 written in binary, the language of computers.
Now, each of these little zeros and ones, they have a special name. It's called a bit, which is just short for binary digit. And honestly, this is the most important takeaway. Think of a bit as the single fundamental atom of all digital information. It's the smallest possible piece. Every single photo, every song, every text you've ever sent, when you get right down to it, it's just a giant, massive collection of these simple little on or off bits.
All right, Section 2, Painting with Numbers. So we know how to make numbers now. Let's take it up a notch. How do we go from simple numbers to something way more complex, something visual? How in the world can you paint a picture using nothing but zeros and ones?
Yeah, I mean, how do you get from a long string of bits to a beautiful photograph? It feels like a massive leap, right? But believe it or not, whether you're looking at a super simple blocky letter A or a stunning high-res photo, they're both built on the exact same idea. They're just a grid of tiny colored dots. We call them pixels. All the computer has to do is figure out a way to describe which dots are on and which are off. So, you could just list every single pixel's color one by one, but wow, that would take up a ton of space. It's not very efficient. So computers use a really clever shortcut. Instead of noting every single dot, they just count the runs of color. You know, how many white dots are in a row, then how many black dots, and so on.
So for that first row, the code is just 1, 3, 1. That's it. It just means 1 white pixel, then 3 black pixels, then 1 more white pixel. That's all the info you need. This technique has a name. It's called run-length encoding, and it is a super efficient way to describe a picture.
Okay, but so what? Why does this even matter? Well, this simple trick, which we call compression, is the reason you can send a JPEG image in an email without it taking forever. As the book points out, it saves a huge amount of space and time. It's the same idea that helps websites load quickly and lets you cram thousands of photos onto your phone.
All right, Section 3, Stories Made of Code. We've got numbers, we've got images. What's left? Well, what about language itself? How can these bits and bytes tell a story? And, maybe more importantly, how can they do it without taking up a ridiculous amount of space?
Just take a look at this nursery rhyme. Your brain is amazing, right? It just automatically spots the repeated phrase, peas porridge, without you even thinking about it. Well, it turns out we can teach a computer to do the exact same thing.
The book calls this activity, You Can Say That Again, which is perfect. Instead of wasting space by writing out peas porridge every single time, the computer can just use a little pointer. It's basically like leaving a sticky note that says, hey, you know that phrase from before? Just copy and paste it here.
And that pointer on a computer is just a simple pair of numbers. The first number says how many characters to go back, and the second one says how many characters to copy. So for a word like banana, you'd write ban, and then just tell the computer, go back 2 spots and copy 3 letters. Boom, you get ana. It's another brilliantly efficient shortcut, but this time for language.
Okay, Section 4. Why Unplugged CS matters. So we've seen how computers can count with cards, paint with numbers, and even tell stories with pointers. We've gathered all the clues. I think it's time to finally solve that mystery we started with.
So here it is, the big reveal. The so-called magic of a computer, it isn't magic at all. It's just a really clever, layered system. At the very foundation, you have binary, that simple idea of representing everything with just zeros and ones. On top of that, you build algorithms, which are just clever sets of rules for what to do with those bits, like our run-length encoding for pictures. And then you sprinkle in smart shortcuts like compression to make the whole thing run fast and efficiently. It's not magic, it's just layers of simple but totally brilliant ideas stacked on top of each other. And you know, that's the real beauty of all this. The most complex technology we have, your smartphone, the entire internet, it's all built on these elegant, unplugged principles. Ideas so simple that anyone, kids and adults, can get their hands on them and understand them with just a few playing cards and a little bit of curiosity.
And that really leaves us with one final big thought, doesn't it? If the entire digital world is built on these kinds of simple, tangible, unplugged ideas, it makes you wonder, what new worlds are we going to build on the next clever, unplugged idea?